On this episode of Whitetail Addictions,
I'm what you call a lone wolf. I like to walk alone. I go hunt for the feeling. I thrive out on my own.
Whitetail Addictions is brought to you by Lone Wolf Custom Gear, the innovator of mobile hunting. Lone Wolf Arrowheads, recover your deer, not your broadhead. Osseo Gear, nature's best camouflage. Hoyt Archery, get serious, get Hoyt. Vortec Optics, the force of optics. Buck Fever Synthetics, make bucks hunt you. Painted Arrow Outdoors, relive the hunt. Face Off Bikes, make every hunt count. Onyx Hunt, maps for hunting, made by hunters.
Whitetail Addictions, baby. I love this shit.
I'm what you call a lone wolf. I like to walk alone. I go hunt for the feeling. I thrive out on my own. Look in my eyes, look at the prize, look at the yeah. Heart in my chest, holding my breath. I'm addicted to the game. I am the one they run from. Dead I lie and wait. I do not tremble, do not shake. Ice cold blood in my veins, yeah. The lone wolf is my name.
Wow, what a cage.
Hi, Luke Standley with Lone Wolf Custom Gear's Whitetail Addictions, coming back at you. 2023 was a great year for me. Can't really ask for anything better. As you saw earlier, I killed a 5.5-year-old 156-inch deer that I had 3 years of history with. I killed him on November 6th, and that meant my #1 target was still out there. And I was determined. I was hunting him down. When I went into the year, I was like, it's him or bust. It doesn't matter. To set the scene for this year, I have 3 years of history with this deer. This is what he looked like in 2021. In 2021, I saw him a few times, not that much because I wasn't really hunting him. I was hunting bigger deer that was kind of a ghost a little bit. He'd only show up very sporadically. So I wasn't really in his area that much. And I took a video of him smashing my scrape tree one day and sent it to my dad and said, this one's going to be a good one in a couple years. So then fast forward to 2022. I saw this deer when I was velvet scouting, and I was like, holy cow, he blew up. Like, he made a huge jump. He was probably a 130-inch deer, and if that, in 2021. In 2022, he was big, but I knew he was only 4.5. Here's what he looked like in 2022. In 2022, I had 9 encounters with him. Those 9 encounters, I got quite a bit of video of him, but I just knew he was 4.5, and I thought he'd be right around 160, maybe a little bit less, just because he was a mainframe 9-pointer. He wasn't real wide, but he was tall and massive, and I was chasing that 170 mark. I wanted a booner bad, And so I knew if he made it to 5.5, I was like, if he can just grow a little bit, even if he doesn't have a great growth year, he should hit that 170 mark. And I picked up his sheds in 2022. Here they are. As you can see, I mean, he's tall and massive. They scored 162. So that got me really excited. I was like, man, if he gets 8 inches is all I need. 8 inches from 4.5 to 5.5. And then 2023 rolls around. I went velvet scouting for him. I could not find him. I could not find him at all. And I'd seen him the previous 2 years. There's a crop rotation. I was like, man, I hope he didn't die. Well, then I got him on trail camera, but it was way later than normal. So I knew he was alive. And I just didn't really think he grew that much. I figured he'd definitely put on the 8 inches, but on trail camera pictures, I was still guessing him around 170, and here's some of those. And then this set up for the most epic chase, successful deer hunt that I'll probably ever have in my hunting career, I would imagine. I don't think it'll get more wild than what it was. So starting 2023 out, I had planned for him to be around, put a huge plot in again. I owned all the deer the previous year with my big plot come late season. So I was like, I gotta do it again. He was in there all the time. Did it again. I had a 3.5 acre bean plot with brassicas overseeded on 1.5 acres of it. He started being real regular in October. Took my 1.0 in on the morning of the 31st, and I was on my e-bike going in. I was running late. No excuses. I had no reason to be running late. And I ran right into him on the field road around the edge of the timber. He was out there. I saw him. I didn't see his rack. I thought it was a doe, honestly. And he was down in a little dip, and I had my plot screen behind him, so I couldn't see his rack at all. I could just see the silhouette. And it wouldn't run away or anything, so I was like, it's just a doe. I got to 40 yards. He turned his head. I saw it was him, and he took off. And he was freaked out. He ran through the timber on the trail I was setting up on, because I got him on my trail camera, and across the creek into the neighbor's thick CRP, and he got about 150 yards away into their CRP before he even started blowing, and he blew like crazy. He disappeared. I ruined his pattern, and I didn't get a picture of him for like 2 weeks, but I was on vacation, so I was still hunting. While I was hunting, I was still seeing him. And then that takes us to the probably most stressful and trying time of me trying to get this deer killed. I was hunting this area that I knew he was going to come through. I just knew it during the rut. He was there last year all the time. All the big deer go through there during the rut. It's a perfect little pinch point funnel. And I was like, I got to get him killed here. It's the same stand I killed my 156 out of, and I was sitting there the one morning and a hot doe came through, and I had, in a 10-minute span, I had 11 different bucks come on that same trail. But they were all just out of range because of how thick it is in there now. So I ripped my 1.0 down, moved it closer to that trail, rehung it, got all the way up there, realized I forgot my handsaw. I had no shots but one little bitty opening, and I was like, there is no way I can get a deer to stop during the rut in this little bitty opening. So I ripped it back down, went back to the tree. The next morning I was in there, and he went past that tree that I was in at 15 yards and was only 35 yards from me, and I could never get a clear shot. 3 different times, and twice he stood for quite a while broadside, and that one really ate at me. So I didn't end up getting him killed in my vacation. Then in the late season, I figured out a new pattern on him. Any east wind, he was daylighting in my food plot in the evenings. Now the time had changed, so I could go hunt before work. So any east wind I saw in the forecast, I didn't care what the weather was like. It was solid. If it was an east wind, he was out there. Every east wind I went out hunting, and I was seeing him. As you can see, I was having the encounters. It was a drought this year. My plot did not do that great. The beans were getting very, very scarce. And I noticed he was just destroying turnips that were overseeded. December 22nd, I went in after him and I missed him at 54 yards. I thought that was probably going to be my last opportunity at him all year. Then he showed back up on camera 2 days later. And I saw him on the 26th of December again out there, and then January 4th I finally was able to get it done. Oh yeah, I just smoked him. Holy shit. It's 3:35. I've been watching that deer for 30 minutes. Biggest deer of my life. He was getting spooky. 47 yards, and I just freaking drilled him. Whew. Encounter number 15 is his last, baby. Yes! Alright, so January 4th afternoon, I got redemption on the buck I call number 2. He's ended up scoring 184 2/8. It was my 15th encounter of the year with him on December 22nd, and I thought I ended my season on him when I missed at 54, and I got a 47-yard redemption shot, and had to wait until late to recover him because I didn't want to bump him. So 15 encounters this year, probably 9 last year. I got his match set of sheds as well from last year. It's a heck of a chase.
Lone Wolf is my name.
This is Andre Quisto from Lone Wolf Custom Gear. I wanted to thank you for watching Whitetail Addictions and ask that you become one of our silent partners by hitting the YouTube subscribe button and following us on Facebook and Instagram.